everybody, Taylor Haney, single track surgeon, coming at you with another video. And today I'm here in beautiful Big Bear, California. Now, most of you know this is where Snow Summit Bike Park is, but the park isn't open yet. And I think this is the perfect time to come up and ride. And that's mainly because there's less people here. And with less people come better conditioned trails, and we're early in the season. So a lot of these trails, they've been winterized and the snow ends up packing down the dirt. And there's this little recovery that happens similar to the glaciers up in Alaska, where the dirt becomes kind of spongy and it starts to like come back up to the top where it's not hard packed, but it's still moist. And it is the best dirt to ride, in my opinion. It's super fun. So I'm coming up here on the back side where you can access trails like Fern, Skyline, and Fall Line. You can pedal them all yourself, really easy. You can park halfway up like I'm doing and just have a really fun day and avoid all the crowds. So let me show you a little bit more, take you on the trails. Let's go check it out. Now, before we actually start riding, I wanted to give a little bit of a tip on where to park. Now, I'm on 2N10, which is accessed by Moon Ridge, and you head up to Bear Mountain and you head up this little tiny road. Now there's a parking lot that's at the bottom, and it's the intersection where Skyline comes into Fern Trail. That's a great place to park, especially if that gate is closed. But if the gate is open, I highly recommend you come up here, which is halfway up the climb. This gives you access to all of these trails midways. So say you have a problem on the trail or you just want to grab a snack, you can actually hit this fire road here. So that's actually where Skyline comes across. Or on the other side, you've got the fire road that intersects Fall Line. It's just a perfect halfway point, and it's halfway up the climb. So if you're climbing up, you can restock on snacks, restock on some water, some Gatorade, and get ready for your next run up. After a quick climb, about 0.7 miles up the fire road, you'll find yourself at this massive trail junction. On one side, you have Pirates that's gonna head over to Fall Line, which we're gonna ride first. Right next to it, which is kind of secluded, there's a sign, you can see it. It's actually the access to Skyline. So Skyline actually goes all the way around the resort and has access points on both sides. We're gonna stay on the east side today. Now over here in the corner, you have the continuation of Skyline, which goes down, and that's that junction where the car is parked. We're also gonna ride that. We're gonna do that a little later. First, let me show you the map and give you a little bit better overview of the trail system up here. Now this is where I parked, right here at this junction, which, as I said, is a really nice halfway point of the climb and of the descent. And it allows you to kind of mix and match. And you've got more beginner trails, you have intermediate, and you can mix and match. So right now we're actually gonna take Pirates over here and then take Fall Line all the way down, which mixes green, blue, and black. And then you end up climbing back up Fern Trail and you get on the fire road and you take it back to where we're parked. You can also start here, which we'll do later, and take Skyline down, which is a nice intermediate trail all the way down. I would say it's probably more of a beginner option. It doesn't really have that many moves that would warrant its intermediate status, but that's a great place to ride. So all skill levels can enjoy this side of the mountain. If you want to take your ride to the next level, you can jump on Skyline here, and this will skirt the edge of the resort. So if the resort's open and you have a ticket, you can access all of this, or you can keep going and access this hub here where you have Pine Knot, Cabin 89, and you've got a really nice viewpoint here. This has amazing views over to San Gorgonio. You have Seven Oaks, which is an amazing DH trail that heads down to kind of where Radford comes from this side, which is actually accessed over here. And then you could also take it all the way over to Clark's Grade, which I have climbed up from Angeles Oaks. It's a great way to get up from the Yucaipa area, which is where I live. And then you have the extension of Skyline. So as you can see, you could make a really long cross-country ride by still parking here, using Skyline as an out and back, looping back around, and even accessing maybe some of the black trails over here. After a quick pedal up Pirates, we have now reached another junction, and this is Fall Line Junction. So you'll see it off to the right. It's pretty easy to see. And you've got a map, another map here. So it's great that they've installed all these. Now, one thing that's ironic about this is it's sponsored by Bosch, and no e-bikes, no pedal assist. So I've always found that to be a little bit ironic, but I really, really believe in this bottom one, and please don't skid. PSA for the day, slow down before the turn, let your brakes off, flow through, you'll have more fun, have more speed. Let's go get it. Phew. And on to fall line we go. Starts out with this nice little flowy section. Some cool little bump hits. Pump over that. Try and hold your speed up these rocks. Got some flow through here. This is actually the first enduro race that Kate did. This was her first stage. So I got fond memories doing the transfer with her. Pretty fun. The one part of this trail that I don't really like is you've got this climb. It's not terrible, but it does take a little while, so we're gonna fast forward to the good part. We're up that short little climb, and you'll see this little rocky part begin. And you've got an A-B line. You've got A line here. Up over this chunky piece. Right side is much more mellow. And now the fun starts. Try and pump through this. Oh man, the dirt is just amazing. Phew. So smooth. Woo. Oh, look at that. Phew. That's fun. Man, this dirt is just so grippy compared to what I'm used to. That's the early season conditions. It holds so much more speed. Don't really have to brake much because you know you got the grip. Yeah, look how much speed I carried without even pedaling. That was sick. This trail is just so fun and flowy. Woo! Not too overgrown either. A nice big sweeper. Stay off the brakes. And this right-hander up here, loose rocks can kind of bounce you around a bit. Just try to stay off the front brake. And you got this log down here. You can jump it, or you can just roll over it, either way. This is where you got a lot of nice flowing turns, hold the speed. You can kind of choose to go as fast as you want. You don't have to haul. Look at that cheater line there. Jump to the outside. Ooh, see, starting to see some of the loose dirt come out, but in the shade, it's still really nice and tacky. Ooh, those brake bumps are still there from last year. Get up in the air. Ah, such good flow. And you got some little rock features here. You can roll both of them. Second one's a little bit more of a drop. Get an optional log hop here. It is a drop on the other side. Can't roll that one. Now we're reaching the halfway point, and this is where they usually split the enduro stage in two. But I really wish they'd go all the way down. It's a little more of a proper enduro. Oh man, pine cones. Little rock hop there. Oh man, not too bad. This little rock hop I always like. There's the inside line there. Super fun. But as you can see, it's not too challenging. It has a lot of great options for lots of different skill levels. This is a little rock garden. This is the line I showed my wife. Keep it smooth, cut through the middle. Super nice. Now this next section I would say is the most technical, and that's because it's a flat rock garden. So from this corner, you really have to carry speed, because if you don't, you'll get bogged down and you'll have to dab there. But that being said, once you kind of figure out the line, it's easy enough to roll through and hold your speed. And now, I would say this section here is probably my favorite. A little steeper, some alt lines, woo, nice corners. Try and hold your speed. Just back and forth. Oh yeah, a little rock hop there. Up to the outside. Oh, look at that. Woo! Little rock
or log there. That used to actually be a log drop, and now it's got worn in. It's not as bad. You got this little speed trap section. Stay off the brakes. Little pump. Great little starter jumps too. And when the conditions are great, like today, I haven't pedaled at all. Now look, I'm just flowing right into it. That's what's so great about this trail. You don't have to expend a lot of energy, but you can if you want. So it's a great addition to a bike park day as well. Good pumping. Now I don't like the reroute they did here. I feel like this takes a lot of the speed away, but you do have a lot more speed here, so. Whew. Oh boy, watch out for that log. Little tree notch here, thread the needle. I always like this little off-camera right-hand corner. It's like, how fast do you dare go? Woo. Oh yeah, a little bit loose, but not blown out really. You can pick good, oh man, inside line is way there, way better there. Now coming up is one of the things that looks scary, but it really isn't. I would advise scouting it. Go through these two trees, like a goalpost, just kind of go right into this berm here. It's really easy, and it looks easy on camera, but the first time you see it might be a little bit blind. Just take a look at it so you don't go straight off the berm. I'm sure some people have done that. Woo. This is where it's getting to the end, the fall line. And as you can see, I don't feel like there are a lot of black diamond elements. You can turn it into a black diamond if you want, but this is where you're giving it the business. Drop down here, whew, and that's the end of it. Pretty fun trail. And now we're actually just gonna go right around the corner, and we're gonna turn right, and we're gonna climb back to the car on Fern Trail. Now that we've finished the climb from Fall Line, we have arrived at another junction, and you can see right behind me, that is the entrance if you're going downhill to Fern. That's what we came out of. And then on the other side over here, we've got the exit to Skyline. And that's the section we're actually gonna ride next. And the way we're gonna get there is we're gonna take this fire road all the way to where the car is, and then up to the top. So as you can see, you can link everything together pretty easily, get to the car, and make your ride as long as you want it to be. Now Fern Trail, the trail that we just climbed up, is listed as a blue now, but it used to be listed as a green. So fair warning, it is quite a bit harder climb than maybe some of the other trails in the area. There are routes, there are steeper sections, so you need a lot of wattage to get up. And if you have one of those old trail maps that shows it as a green, just know it probably should be a blue. And it's actually similar difficulty to the bottom of Fall Line, which is a black. So it's kind of confusing, which this is the question I have for you guys. So put down in the comments, put whether you think a trail should be designated its difficulty by the hardest maneuver or by incline. A lot of people don't know that a lot of trail systems, they use the incline method, where if a trail is really steep, it just automatically gets a black diamond or double black, not necessarily a hard move. Some trail systems like Sedona do a really good job of listing the whole trail as maybe a blue or a black, and then it has like a double black element. Highline is a perfect example of that. It's black, and then you have a double black element. So what do you guys think? Should it be hardest move, or should it be incline? Put down in the comments what you think. Of course, every ride isn't complete without a honey stinger. Today's is salted caramel, and gotta have banana. After the short climb that we did at the beginning, we're back in this trail hub, and instead of going on Pirates over to Fall Line this time, we're gonna go on the other side, which is Skyline, and we're gonna hit our last two descents of the day. Let's go get it. Now to be clear, we are getting on Skyline heading east. If we were to get on Skyline going the other direction, we would be headed towards Snow Summit. We're getting on the Skyline section that actually parallels the fire road that we rode up just to my left. Now this first section has a little bit uphill here. And then you've got some nice coasting, another little uphill, and then probably my favorite flow downhill section of Skyline Trail in either direction, because it's nice and prolonged. You can get some speed. This is where you can put on the sprinting legs if you want. Take a go at that KOM. That's your style. All right, let's get it rolling. And these early season conditions are just ridiculous. So much grip. Anything you tell the bike to do, it'll do. That's not always the case once you get into bike season. Little exposure there. And now is where we've got a little bit of an uphill. Goes up around the corner and gets to the downhill. Let's skip to the fun part. Onward and downward. This is a great spot in the summer. Check out some wildlife. A lot of times you'll see deer up here, lots of birds, some hawks, the occasional dinosaur, lots of great wildlife. Makes the ride more interesting for sure. All right, coming up is the most technical section of this trail, and that's this little rock garden. You can go around to the left, or you can take it straight like that. That holds a little bit more speed. You get this little flat pedal, and now the real fun begins. And there's just so much more grip than mid-season. Carry a lot more speed too. Man, woo! I was even able to make the inside work there, wow. You won't be able to do that in the summer. Yeah, this all gets pretty blown out. But best part about riding this time of year, there's no people. I haven't seen one rider all day. Got this whole playground to myself. It's pretty awesome. Me and the dinosaurs. Oh, I love this section. Got some good rhythm. Got some roots up here. Stay high, pump through. Yeah, it's just so much good flow. Ooh, a little loose there. You got this big 180 coming up. Hop as wide as you can. Woo! And now we're at the junction where if you were to turn left, the car is actually just a couple hundred feet there. You can actually see it. This is a little climb to get to our final downhill of the day. Let's get it done. Now we're heading on to Plumbers, which is just the lower section of Skyline to get to that clearing where we came up to Fern. This one's nice and flowy, got some optional hits. I'd say this is probably closer to a green trail than it is intermediate, but that takes us back to that conversation earlier. But you got lots of fun stuff that you can do. Flow it up, little goalpost there. This has great practice with learning how to corner and try to stay off those brakes in the corner. Good flow. They like using this as an enduro course actually. And it's one of the more pedally options, but if you can hold more speed through the corners, you can actually avoid pedaling quite a bit. Woo! Hold some speed through the camber. Woo! There's a little bonus log if you want it right there. Bonus log skinny, but whenever a log starts looking chewed up like that, I don't like to ride them. Yoo! Get your flow on. Stay out those brakes. And try not to hit logs. In early season, you are just not gonna get any berms better than that. Like that is just insane. So tacky. Give it a month. That thing will be super, super dusty. Oh, look at this. It's almost like a bike park berm. I don't even recognize it. Little pedal through the trees here. Sprint zone for those commie hunters. Try and hold it open. Whoop. Just could have gone a little slower that one. Good flow. Got some cool little lines here over the rock. But as you can see, you can take these lines, or you can go around them. Fun for the whole family. And don't be a cheater and cut these corners. Just don't be that guy. Maybe you'll take a better time, but deep down, you know you're a cheater. Don't be that guy. Last little section before you get to the clearing down here. This is where they like to set up the race booth. This is where you end right here. Straight shots through these little rocks, and boom. This is where we came out when we climbed Fern. Now we're just gonna do the climb back to the car.
After the quick climb back to the junction, I'm gonna refuel and actually do a couple more laps, but this is my favorite way to ride these trails and this side of the park. I will be doing a video on the other side. Full ride description and Trail Forks map actually will be in the description as well. So if you want to click on that and follow it on your ride so you don't get lost. I know the first time riding an area, it's easier to follow Trail Forks often. So that will be down there. Remember, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications if you like this content and want to see more like it. Till next time, remember, go fast, get drifty, don't suck. You.